For this one, we want to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. This is just the vertical angle proof, right? We want to show that vertical angles 1 and 3 are congruent. To do that, let's start. We usually like to do 2-column proofs in this class, right? You could write this all out in words, though, if you wanted to. Our given information here is really that angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. Vertical angles. Okay, that's kind of like your given. Now that's not the super important part of this proof. Sorry, my iPad is starting to get kind of weird on me here. That's not the important part of the proof. What I want to start with is this. What do you know about angles 1 and 2? Well, I hope you see that they're on a straight line, and therefore we can say that they are supplementary, right? What does it mean to be supplementary? It adds up to 180. So what I'm going to say is that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees. A couple reasons you could put for that. A lot of times we put the angle addition postulate because you're splitting that larger angle, 180 degrees, into two smaller angles. So let's call this the angle addition postulate. You could say, I don't know, linear pair, they're supplementary, they lie on a straight line. Give me some reason for that. Now the other thing I want to say, though, is that angles 2 and 3 also add up to 180, right? You see how they're on a straight line? They're on this straight line. And we know that lines add up to 180, or there's 180 degrees in a line. So angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 degrees. Same reason, angle addition postulate. Alright, now we got an interesting thing happening here. We have this equal to 180, and we have this equal to 180. Now, if those two things are equal to the same thing, then they should be equal to each other, right? If they're both equal to 180, then they should be equal to each other. They equal the same thing. So I'm going to write that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals angle 2 plus angle 3. All right, it's kind of like the yellow blob. We'll call this the yellow blob was equal to 180, and the purple blob was equal to 180, so they should be equal to each other. That is called substitution. Substitution. And if you want to get technical, a substitution property of equality. Substitution property of equality. And then in this equation, you'll notice that we have an angle 2 over here and an angle 2 over here. Well, if we have the same thing on both sides of an equation, you do this all the time in algebra, we can subtract that angle 2 away. And when we take away that angle 2, we're left with the final line that angle 1 is equal to or congruent to angle 3. And I use those equals and congruencies interchangeably, and I probably shouldn't, but the bottom line is that they end up being equal. And that is called the subtraction property of equality. And that's your proof right there. Okay? 5 steps, including the given, 4 after that. Let's get it down.